Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Friday morning safety meeting. I've got quite a bit of things to go over today. It's all good stuff. It's all kind of in preparation for what's coming up next week. With inspections this week, we actually did a bang up job. We had 3 that were clean, and we did not have any failed inspections. And actually, I've just had 2 more clean inspections get dropped on my desk. So that's going to be huge. That helps us out a lot. So, to the 3 recipients, Nathan Johnson, pretty new. Anthony Palmer, also pretty new to the fleet. And Frank Dean, who's been here a couple years. So it's nice to see some new names into the mix with some folks that have been here for a while. So once again, great work. We did not have any failed inspections. So 3 clean, no failed. I will take it. I'm glad I don't have to act like a buffoon up here once again. So thank you very much. There is a new truck stop, a new Love's in Diamond, Ohio. So Diamond is right off of 76 between Youngstown and Akron. And if you're in that area, they will have a dog park if you need to let your pup out, 100 parking spots if you need to, take a break somewhere or, need to get something to eat. They've got the coveted Godfather's Pizza, as well as Subway if you want to torture yourself, I guess. But they've got options. So if you are in that area, you will have a place to park with 100 extra parking spots in between 2 pretty populous locations. So that will be helpful, and hopefully folks can utilize that. Smart Drive is being installed in trucks. As those of you that have it already know, as those of you that don't, we're not really putting people on a list and routing them through. It's a first come, first serve. Folks are going to be getting through here for services, things like that. You will be getting a Smart Drive system installed, as long as we have the cameras here on site to install. So don't want anybody to be surprised. We're getting everything rolling with that. Starting to see some videos come in. They are in very high definition. We can see everything, that's out your window. So it's pretty nice. We get to see what you all get to see. The only thing I did notice on there, and which we're going to be able to go in and, change some of the parameters. But, following distance, yes, following distance is an important thing. But if you're in Atlanta, Georgia on 285 in rush hour, following distance is something that's going to be really hard to achieve. And I understand that. So if you get an alert or if you hear something, or if you hear that beep in the cab, I will see that as well, and I won't be bothering you. I mean, as long as we're not, riding the bumper of somebody, I get it. If you're in Atlanta, you're not going to be able to have the adequate following distance. It's totally understandable. Tonight we will be honoring our 2020 Drivers of the Year, as well as someone that has a couple million miles and some years of service. So I would like to reiterate and just give a shout out, a safety meeting shout out to those folks as well. So our 2020 Drivers of the Year for the company fleet, we've got Scott Brown. For the van independent contractor, Carl Bowman. And for the refrigerated independent contractor, we've got Robert Champagne. Folks, great work. That is a huge accomplishment. Driver of the Year. That's something to be extremely proud of. I know we're all proud of you, and we're happy to see everybody tonight. Also going along with that, Glenn Frazier is getting his 2 million mile award tonight. And that's not just 2 million driving miles, that's 2 million safe miles. So that is quite a feat that, some don't even get close to 1 million, let alone 2 million. So Glenn, I'll tell you again tonight, but congratulations. We are extremely proud of you. This is an accomplishment that, I haven't seen here at Henderson Trucking. I've only been here 10 years, but I have not seen somebody get a 2 million mile award in my tenure here at Henderson. So, and I'm excited for you. Great work. Looking forward to seeing you tonight, as usual. Also behave yourself if you can. For terms of service this year, for 5 years. So in our driving fleet, these are the folks that are 5-year recipients. Scott Brown, our van company driver of the year. Fred Farrell, Deshaun Kincaid, Kent Kirsch, John Ragster, Russell Reed, Andy, and Janae Wallowitz. So I've gotten to, I've been here with these folks when they started and got to see them from the time they started to the time where they're at now. It's like Janae and Andy, they came through our driving school. Now they're some of the best drivers in the fleet and probably the most productive team. Not probably, definitely. So, seeing stuff like this is awesome, and hopefully, and within that time I've grown professionally as well, but we won't discuss that. We got a 15-year service award this year too, and that's going to be Adrian Orozco. Adrian runs on the van fleet, does a fantastic job, actually lives about an hour and a half north of here. So Adrian, looking forward to seeing you tonight. And then, in the office we've got some things going on too, folks getting awards, but one really, really notable one, and he'll hate it that I'm saying it, is our old buddy Gale. Gale's getting his 35 years of service. 35 years. I'm 31 years old. Gale's been doing this since before I was alive. And he's been doing it here at Henderson. So, once again, if you tell Gale congratulations, he'll probably give the oh yeah thanks and then on to the next discussion. But that's amazing. So we've got some well-deserving folks here that, the praise is well-deserved. So looking forward to seeing everybody tonight, breaking bread. I'll be getting my 10-year with y'all, but, my feet is mincemeat compared to what you guys do out there or what you're getting. So once again, we are proud of each and every one of you, and we thank you for not only your dedication to the company, but your dedication to safety as well, because you don't get these kind of awards without being safe. So I wanted to cover that. Sorry if I went on a little long, but it's my true appreciation to you, so thank you. Now, FMCSA Blitz coming up next week, 4th through the 6th. I hope that everyone is prepared. We've gone through how to transfer your logs. We've gone through, what else? So we've gone through how to transfer. We've gone through how to certify. We've gone through your load tab. I will not be covering those again today because I'm going to go over some others. So a disclaimer before we continue. You can go back in our meetings and watch those videos. It's on our Facebook page. Easiest way to do it, though, would be our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is under Earl L. Henderson Trucking Company, and you will see a green truck on the thumbnail for the page. Excuse me, and those safety meetings are in chronological order. So you have last week's, the week before. We don't post anything else on YouTube. That's it. So if you've got questions, go through. It's not the live video either, so you can, on the video you can, fast forward, rewind, whatever you need to do. You can scroll through to get to that exact part. And I will tell you this, it's towards the end. So please feel free to, go on there and check it out. And obviously, if you've got questions, please call me, and I would love to go over that. So, as you know, they say they're going to be looking at lighting and hours of service. So, we must be completing thorough pre-trip inspections every day. Trucks and trailers, as you know, you have to flag one inspection per day on your logs. Every time you stop, you should be doing a vehicle inspection. That does not mean it has to go on your logs. It just means that you're making sure that that 80,000-pound vehicle that you entrust your life and everybody else's with is going to be in good working order, so it keeps you in one piece from point A to point B. E-logs, we've covered this. I'm going to discuss a little more here in a little bit, but make sure your logs are certified. Make sure your load information is entered in, and make sure that we are using our logs correctly. Do not be fudging PC. They're going to be looking for this stuff, and it's the people that think, oh, it's not going to happen to me, they're going to be the first ones that this happens to. So we also must know how to transfer those logs to an officer. Remember, day log, E-rods, web services, they'll give you a number, send. That's all you have to do. But like I said, that video's back from last week and the week before. Speed limits, we've got to be going under the speed limit. I know people think, oh, I'll go 1 to 5 over. No, I've got a stack of 1 to 5 over tickets for people just like that. We cannot be speeding, and we must have a clean truck. Do not have stuff all over your dashboard. Do not give them a reason to pull you over. Cell phones, seat belts, speeding. if you want to make us really upset during next week, that's the way to do it. We don't want that to happen to anybody. And, we've got work to do, and we don't have time for that stuff. So right along with that, the clean inspections will be paying out $70 $70 per inspection, since it is a DOT blitz. Like I said last week, it's a nice gesture that we pay for those inspections, because a clean inspection is expected. Just like I'm expected to show up here and do my job, we're expected to do the same out there. I will help you along the way in any way that I can. I feel like in this situation, what we're covering, we're giving everyone all the tools, and it's you guys watching the meeting that I'm not worried about. It's the folks that aren't watching it, because we're giving them all the tools. We're doing everything we can, except for going through the inspection for you in this situation. And I'm not saying that to sound rude, but that's the truth. I mean, I've busted my chops the last few weeks trying to make sure we prepare for everything, and the fact that folks aren't watching this is a little bothersome. But for those of you that are, I want to say thank you. And I've got one more thing to go over, and then we'll part ways for today. I'm going to be covering the paper logs, and I want to go over the permit book with you real quick. So the first thing is the ELD backup, which we've covered this, but I just want to reiterate. Everyone, make sure you have this on your truck. Keep it with your permit book inside the door pouch on the right side, so that way you don't have to take your seatbelt off. If they ask for your backup, boom, it's right here. If they ask for your permit book, boom, it's right here. Now, your permit book should be in working order. You should have the reference guide up front with the up-to-date phone numbers, all that good stuff. Your first page should be your DOT inspection. This is someone else's, which is why we're covering that. But your second page should be your accident reporting form. And the most recent one has my email address at the bottom. Now, if you're an independent contractor, these are insurance forms right here and here. That is where I prefer to keep them, but that doesn't really matter as long as you have them. Now, the cab card, 2022, April 1st, 21 to March 31st, 22, you must have the 2022 cab card. If you've got the 2021, you are able to throw it away now, because we're out of the 21 cycle. We're into 22. So make sure you've got that cab card. The next page will be insurance for your truck. It should say policy date, June 30th of 20 to June 30th of 21. So that'll be coming up before we know it. But for the blitz purpose, we must have this one. Now, the next page is going to be our IFTA sticker. So you can see this one's January 1st, 21 to December 31st, 21. Please make sure that you have the red sticker that goes right along with this permit. Otherwise, you will get a ticket. Oh, everybody's favorite here, the New York HUT permit. I know everybody hates them. If you're in New York, you better have one. If you're not in New York, you don't really have to worry about it. But if you don't have one of these, let me know. And a common misconception, folks think that just because they have this permit, that means we're going to send them into Times Square right away. No, that's not going to happen. Just because you have the permit doesn't mean you're going there. It just means you have it in case. Now, all these loose pages in the middle are miscellaneous. Though the DOT officer will never ask for these, but we've got them there. And then our back pages. So these are very important. I'm going to turn this sideways here, folks. So as you can see, this is the quick reference guide for your ELD in the truck. So this is required by DOT. You must have this. This tells the officer what everything does, and it's front and back. So this one's important. Now, the most important thing in the back of this permit book is going to be this right here. Your hours of service ELD driver cab card. And folks, I apologize. I think I lied to you. We're going to go over how to transfer logs again. So we'll turn this over. Now, for inspector mode, you'll see you've got inspector mode right here and transmit hours of service. This is if the DOT officer gets in your truck and does it themselves. We don't have to worry about that. This will be our bread and butter right here. So, number one, UTAP day log. Number two, we're not going to be in inspector mode because on these ELDs, you could skip number two. So you'd go day log, E-rods, enter the comment section, that code that they give you, and hit send. But this must be in the permit book. And one thing that's kind of aggravating is, when we get these tickets and I ask folks like, hey, is that page in there? And they look like, oh yeah. So we can't have that. Now, this is also very important. Your annual DOT inspection. So if you can see here, this was done on 8/21 of 20. So August 21st. Your DOT inspection must not be a year out of this date. So if that said 8/22/21, we'd be expired. So you have a year from this date to get your DOT inspection completed. So as you can see, this book is in good working condition and this book is in order. So this individual will get a clean inspection. So make sure you've got this and this together right in your door pouch. And make sure you've got a copy of your physical up front, because when you get stopped and they ask you to grab your physical, you don't want to take your seatbelt off. So if anybody has questions, please let me know. I apologize for getting a little long-winded today, but I wanted to make sure that we covered all of our bases and discussed this stuff so you'd have a reference to go back to as well. But if anybody needs anything, please let me know. Thank you.